guess you could probably say the story starts back in 1822. King of Spain, King Ferdinand the Sixth, excuse me, sent for Don Miguel Peralta from Sonora, Mexico, to go to Spain, and to accompany him was several of his warlords that were involved in the Mexican-American War at this time. I mean, the War for Independence in New Mexico. At that particular time, a receipt was of goods was given to Don Miguel Peralta in the tune of in excess of 600 pounds of gold, 8.8 pounds apiece, 200 bars of gold, 5 pounds apiece, and 250,000 coins. Spain lost the revolution, and Mexico won its freedom, and the gold was never actually lost. How they managed to keep it hidden this time was a matter of conjecture and theory, but it eventually wound up in 1847 in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which was it fell just prior to the fall of the Mexican-Spanish-American War. At that time, it was removed to this area by Don Miguel Peralta, who had his mining activities in this region at that time. Shortly thereafter, probably in the spring of 1848, late March, early April, Peraltas were massacred over at the massacre grounds in the northeastern section. The Apaches claimed the battle lasted 3 to 4 days. It probably lasted at least that long. Everything that the Peraltas had hidden at that time was stashed in 7 major caches within an 18-mile area, or 18-league area. In the years it took after the massacre to probably piece together what probably happened, there was only 2 survivors that were actually theoretically known, which were members of the Gonzalez family. They came back. There were possibly 2 survivors, or 2 boys. And in 1860, they came back into this area with several other gentlemen and tried to reopen the mines, and which ensued the long story about the Dutchman theory about the Peralta treasures.
Cut. 3, 2.
In 1975, I left New Hampshire to take a friend down here for his health. I got a book called The Killer Mountains, and it told basically some pretty conscripted ideas about the Peralta treasure and the Jesuit treasure, but nothing really in any depth. Up until from December of 75 until March of 76, I mostly devoted my time to reading about the Peralta maps, and finally located them down at the museum down in Mesa. And something struck me that if somebody went to all this much trouble to do these maps, then there had to be some reason behind the theory that the treasure did exist. I then spent 2.5 to 3 years in the interior, breaking down the clues, seeing if there's any trailheadways fitting in the map descriptions, and I really couldn't find a lot of evidence in that area due to logistics of the terrain. 1979, we started getting kind of warm. We had some psychic evaluations done on the site, and they put us right on the spot, actually. And we went up there, and the trail matched. Wags Wagner of formerly of Playboy magazine did a lot of still photos, which showed that the numerals on the maps were on the walls up there. You know, just by having the filming done was the one that brought it to us, really. And that time I was kind of concerned about, did we really have it? Was there really enough evidence to prove theoretically and positively that there was something in that area? Well, we had Del Windus from Treasure Detection Services Incorporated from Boca Raton, Florida. They've worked with Mel Fisher and the Quest Incorporated on several major expeditions and have been fruitful in their experimentation with their instrumentations. And they located it within 20 minutes. There's 2 sites within feet of each other, and there's one adjacent site which is probably 40 feet back from it, which would probably, we feel, would hold probably the church artifacts. The area is defined enough and hidden enough so that unless you really were searching for it and could put it together, you would never really find, you'd walk right by it usually. And it's sitting right at your rear there, you're looking directly at it. And it was difficult, we've had some problems. It's been an honest man's effort, and it looks like it's going to prove fruitful. The instrumentation alone readings were 96 ohm, that's bulk gold. The readings read in excess of 5,900 pounds. That's not gravy. It wasn't vernacular, it's bulk. We fed the computers 5 times the information that was available. Scrambled, it came out the same, 5,900 pounds. 600 pounds of gold, 8.8 pounds apiece, 205 pounds apiece, and 250,000 coins, approximately 7,100 pounds, gentlemen. Give or take whatever they put them in. So that's basically how we. Let's say it's a accumulation of a 5-year search using some very technical instrumentation and some research procedures that we just happen to luck out and have available to us at this time. So it looks pretty fruitful. Interesting.